Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And I have a few last words that I want to say about this whole kerfuffle about General Michael Langley. First and foremost, I am not going to throw my black American brother under the bus or jump on a bandwagon and beat up on my black American brother because a bunch of Africans are having a hissy fit over there because they have a need to blame something on a black American. And I am not going to dismiss the anti black American sentiment that exists with these black people from the Caribbean and Africa. Now, I know that it's not all of them because some of them are coming on this channel telling me that I'm not wrong. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of my Black American family, FBA family, for supporting me in this and not being so quick to throw one of our own under the bus because he is doing his job. And he's not over there representing no FBA. He is representing the military. He is in the military. He is operating under the authority of the United States military, not FBA. But having said that, he should still be doing an honorable job. But I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon against my brother because of something he said in a Senate hearing. Nobody in his right mind is going to get up before the public and admit that he's doing something wrong. And so then you're going to take what he said at a Senate hearing, say, well, didn't you hear what he said out of his own mouth? Well, he disparaged President Traore. Well, probably, yeah. That's what they do, and probably Traore is disparaging him too. Okay, but let me get to the point. If America wanted President Traore gone, he would already be dead. America is the big boy. They'll come to your house and get you. They went to Gaddafi's house and got him. They got Saddam Hussein, who knows where, hiding in a hole somewhere, and they found him. They could do that if they wanted to. But guess what? America has learned something since 1968 when Dr. Martin Luther King lost his life because of an assassination. They don't benefit by killing black people. Even when President Obama became the president, these little old Rudy Poo type white people running around here sending death threats to President Obama. And even the conservative pundits told him, don't kill him. Because all you're going to do is create a bigger monster. Dr. Martin Luther King is bigger now than he was when he was alive. Dr. Martin Luther King is better known than any white American president. He has a presidential library in the King Center. He has a holiday. He's known and respected all over the world. His movement is respected and studied all over the world. He's more of a problem to them dead than he was alive. Burkina Faso had this man for a leader from 1983 to 1987. His name is Thomas Sankara. He was doing the same things that Traore is doing over there now. He was trying to improve the healthcare system, the educational system, trying to take control of their resources. They killed him, and look who they got. Now they got Traore. If they kill Traore, another one is going to come. They don't benefit by killing black leaders. And back to General Michael Langley. I believe there's a smear campaign going on against this man. There's an effort to undermine black leadership. And I think we need to be aware of it. We can agree to disagree. But you need to understand that if they succeed in tearing down the character of General Michael Langley, that's going to affect black leadership going forward. And I am not willing to participate in that because at the end of the day, everybody else can say anything they want to say about Africa and Africans, and they don't get all up in a tizzy about it. They don't get upset about anything anybody else does because they just dismiss that. It just rolls off them like water off a duck's back. But let a black American do something or another African. Oh, now they're ready to go to town on that person because listen to what this white man said.
All this talk of illegal migration in Europe, in the United States, it ultimately comes down to a contest of what is governance. Who is governed? Which countries are governed well? And if so many of these countries around the world are incapable of governing themselves, then it's time for us to to put the imperial hat back on to say we're going to govern those countries if you're incapable of governing yourselves because enough is enough. We're done being invaded.
Because our own national security risk is at stake. National
Exactly.
security interests are at stake.
You can say that about pretty much all of Africa. They're incapable of governing themselves and benefiting their citizens because the governments there are all about looting and pillaging and lining their pockets and going shopping in Paris instead of actually
hold on
making
a
their country
second. Hold on.
better.
People on the left are going to watch this. They're going to say, wait a minute, Eric Prince is talking about being a colonialist again.
Absolutely. Yes. Enough. Because if you go to these countries and you see how they suffer under absolutely corrupt, made-up governments that are just criminal syndicates,
Made up governments.
the people of Africa, the people of Latin America, a lot of them deserve better. Now, some countries are really getting it together. Look at what El Salvador did.
Y'all see how he summarily dismissed all of the African leaders. The African leaders can't be that bad without the people they're trying to lead being bad. So all of them are bad then. And these Western governments are taking advantage of all of them. Now, they just took one out in Tanzania not long, a few years ago because I think he wouldn't go along with something that they wanted him to do. And they put a woman in his place. But this is very instructive. Look how smug he is sitting up there talking about those African leaders. This is an American oligarch. This is Bessie DeVos's brother, who was the Secretary of Education under Trump's first administration. These people are filthy rich. He's over there in Africa, mining for whatever he can get his hands on. But he has dismissed the leaders, undermined all of those leaders, and the people fall in lockstep with whatever the white people tell them. You know, no leader in Africa is any good. Out of 54 leaders, not one, not one has the people's best interest at heart. And then when you look deeper, you find out all of the propaganda and the indoctrination that has gone on with the African people. They don't trust each other. They don't trust their leaders. Well, he's in this tribe, or he's in that tribe. So now that's a reason to turn against him. I like to watch videos about people who travel to different African countries, talking about the people, the customs, the food, and so forth. And I have gotten to the point now that I will not listen to a white person touring any African country because they go into the country looking for something wrong. And they put it out there just like what they are telling is from the Living Bible. But all of this is propaganda. It's propaganda. And I don't know what the fascination is with white people that so many black people have. But we have it here in America too. Black Americans can be very envious and very spiteful with a serious crabs in the barrel mentality. So if I have a chance to pull another black person down, I'm going to do it, even if I'm going on hearsay and I don't know anything for sure. So I'm just going to sum this up by saying I am not going to be one of the ones that jumps on the bandwagon to tear this man down. This man is a general in the United States Marine. That is his choice of vocation. He had to work very hard to get where he is. He didn't get there by being stupid. And he is over there in Africa, maybe because he thought, being a black man himself, he could build relationships. And I think he is doing some good in some countries. But in Burkina Faso, it just happens to be that they have a leader there who is making them negotiate with him, as well he should. He should make them negotiate with him because at some point they are going to have to negotiate with the African people so that they can benefit from their resources. They've never had to do that before, but they've got a new sheriff in town now, and he's playing by different rules. And America and Europe have competition now with the Chinese and the Russians and probably anybody else that can get over there and try to make a deal. So he has leverage. Trevor has leverage, and he's using his leverage. And that's smart too. And if his own people don't turn on him, he'll probably be fine. General Michael Langley may not have used the most perfect words when he was testifying before Congress. So I charge that to him just not being a perfect person, unlike some people seem to think they are. But if he was over there to orchestrate something against Captain Trey Ray, he's been there since 2022 or 2023. It would have already been done by now. And we know for sure he could have been a white man that testified before Congress, said the same things and worse, and we wouldn't even know his name. We would not know his name. And I'm certain about that. But because he's black, now everybody knows his name, putting all of his family members' names out there as much as they can about him to try to bring harm to him. That's what those Africans have done. And I'm sure they've had some help with some of their friends. Black Americans should not be taking a page out of Book of Africans and turning on people on a dime based on some frivolous thing or hearsay. We should be smarter than that. And for those of us who are, we have to stick together with our people. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Then, if he does something wrong, he did something wrong. But our first line of defense is not to turn on our own people. That is a mistake, and Africa is a good example of why you shouldn't do that. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And have a great day.